Hello everyone, this is Supersnoopy here, back with another Star Wars The Republic video. Today I have for you guys another Star Wars The Republic discussion episode. In today's episode I'm going to be talking about my review of Knights of the Fallen Empire. So this is just going to be a little review of what I thought of chapters 1 through 9. So if you guys enjoy this Star Wars The Republic discussion episode, as always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like. And if you guys want some nice gaming glasses, then check the links down below. No scope gaming glasses, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys in the discussion. Alrighty guys, let's get into the discussion video right now. So as you know, in Star Wars The Republic there was the new expansion known as the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion. Now overall this expansion was pretty interesting. It brought a bunch of different story elements to the table, and overall added it and revamped certain operations and flashpoints. Now for the first part of this discussion episode, I'm going to be going over the story. Now first off, I just want to go ahead and just say that I thought that the story was, definitely interesting. Now I mean, when Knights of the Fallen Empire was getting hyped up and a lot of people were talking about it, I kind of thought the story would be, not super interesting. I thought it'd be interesting, of course, because I mean it's a new expansion and whatnot. But I was surprised to see, the amount of effort and different production value there was compared to, of course, the Shadow of Revan. And I feel like with Shadow of Revan, we still got to see story elements and stuff, but compared to Knights of the Fallen Empire, we got to see a bunch of different things. Now, personally, I do understand that it seems like they put a lot more effort into the story in this one compared to Shadow of Revan. And I feel like they likely were working on this a bit. I feel like they were working on this quite a bit before they even actually released Shadow of Revan. I feel like this was just kind of one of the projects that I guess BioWare just kind of left alone and didn't really focus on. Or they just kind of kept it as something special and then decided, this would be the time to go ahead and release it. So that's just my personal view right there. Now, I feel like the story, like I said, the story itself is definitely interesting. Chapters 1 through 9 so far. Just based off it alone, I can tell that, that they had a really good idea for a story, and it seems like that's playing out really well. Now, for the choices, I actually didn't see too much of the, choices matter. I mean, that was just kind of the thing they were trying to go for, of course, in this expansion, is that, the choices that you make in the game matter. But compared to, like, games like Telltale Games and, like, Tales from the Borderlands and the Walking Dead series from them, I know that they're not trying to be exactly like them, but the choices in those games compared to this game, they feel like they actually, like, matter more. Because, like, with this game, it feels like when you make a choice, it does matter a bit in different chapters, but it's nothing, like, humongous. As in, if you, like, say you make a dark side choice in Chapter 1, or you, like, kneel to Valkorion, if you were to go into a later chapter, it's not like that had a huge effect. It just maybe gave you an extra dialogue option or two, or someone just hated you. Or another thing, once again, I'm just going to be talking about spoilers in this one. Just by the video title itself. This is a review of the whole expansion. But, one other option, for example, would be, of course, when you decide to, go in with ramming speed to Darth Maul. And, of course, when you go into ramming speed, you just completely ram the ship into, Valkorion's, like, internal empire. And then, of course, there's someone that was on the ship that you find later in, I think, Chapter 6, and he's just really irritated at you. But if you manage to, keep the ship fine and running and decide not to, ram it in and let people to escape, then it changes the dialogue option right there. Now, for the most part, I can tell that those are the kind of ideas that they mean with choices matter, as in they do matter to a certain extent, but they aren't, like, game-changing. Personally, I also thought that with Lana, if you chose a good side or the bad side choice and you decided to, side with Valkorion, that she would die. It didn't seem like she would die that early in, but I feel like they should do something like that, whereas in, if you choose a dark side choice, then a companion will live, and if you choose a good side choice or you don't like use Valkorion's power, then a companion could possibly die. Now, that's something that feels like, a choice would matter a lot, but the companions that we saw die in this expansion, they were basically, no matter what you chose in the expansion, they would still die. So, that's just a bit disappointing right there. So, I guess choices matter, but not to, like, the certain extent, as in they matter a ton. I feel like they will likely, expand upon that in later chapters. Since, of course, these are the very first, a few chapters that are just going over, we're just kind of getting introduced to the whole entire new idea of just building an alliance and just trying to help everyone out. Now, that's just my idea for the story. Overall, the story was definitely interesting. They added a bunch of different stuff to the table, and I can't wait to see the next chapters. Now, for the stuff that they changed for the game itself and not only the story, we're just going to be going over the level 65 operations. Now, as you know, with the level 65 operations, I think it's cool that we're just going to go ahead and, we get to play the stuff that is now revamped to level 65. Since it used to be like, I guess say Explosive Conflict, Eternity Vault, and Kraga's Palace were all level 50, and now they're revamped to level 65. And with that said, I feel like it's incredible that we just go ahead and we get to see all this different stuff, and we just get to, learn with how they're going to be dealing with operations. I really enjoy the way that they're going with operations, as in just setting them back to level 65. But it seems like gear is pretty simple to get. I mean, personally, I haven't even min-maxed my gear. I've just gotten everything from comms. Haven't even focused on getting stuff. As you can tell, I already have a fair amount of 220 in all the augments. As you can tell, my stats are completely messed up. But of course, I'm just trying to just get everything organized for the most part, since I do want to, of course, start to get all the new gear. But that won't happen just yet, because of course I do need to do some of the operations, just get the set bonus gear, and then of course just start to min-max. But it seems like it's pretty simple to go ahead and get gear in the expansion now, since there's no weekly limit. So I mean, if you want to just go ahead and just on one weekend or something, just play all the operations in story mode, then that'd be really good, because you could just absolutely stack all the, the common crystals and then the glowing ones. So that's useful right there. And of course the radiant crystal. I mean, it seems like they did a good job for the PvE vendors and the PvP vendors for the gear you can just buy from them. Because I mean, some of them are pretty decent, as in they give decent stats and they try to, just even them out. They don't, of course you can always min-max, and that's always the way to go when it comes down to PvP and PvE gear. But it seems like they're doing a good job at just trying to, even those out, which is really useful. And of course, the changes that I've noticed a lot that seem like they could be a big problem is, there's not really too much problems with how they've changed everything. The one thing that I didn't really like too much is that they changed, of course, the crafting materials and just removed a ton of them. I mean, personally, I didn't craft, but I did stack a lot of those up. And of course, since I don't really craft, I had tons of the new, hard mode flashpoint ones. I think I had 60 of them, and I sold them all. And then I bought a bunch of random garbage that can help me with my companion and a bunch of different stuff. Because now, I mean, with the companions, you have to go ahead and just give them gifts, and then they'll be OP again. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. As you can tell, my HK, let me see what rank he is right now. Okay, there we have all the allies and stuff. So let's just go ahead and just go right here to see who do we have. We just got to find HK, went by him. As you can tell, rank 21. So you get more presents the more you summon them. So that's pretty cool. And you can change them to healer, damage, or tank. And also there's legacy datacrons. So I mean, that's also extremely useful. So I mean, you don't have to go through every single character. And it's also nice because I can see every single datacron that I haven't gotten yet. So I mean, I haven't gotten a few of them. So definitely one of these days I'm just going to go ahead and just grind it out and get all of them, since I mean, that's also something that's really useful. It seems like they've just basically revamped the game to a certain extent that it allows us to do a bunch of different stuff. And personally, I think this expansion was a success. I mean, the only thing that has been annoying, of course, is that some of the decisions don't really matter. And it just seems like they've put a lot of work into the game. I like the changes of the whole entire idea of it. And I hope to see a bunch of different stuff that they release later on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this SWTOR discussion episode. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.